I'm Tony Sklar with BNet TV. We are here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona 2012. I am speaking with Mr. Tim Deluca-Smith. How are you today, sir?
Very well, sir. Very well.
I had to get that Smith part in there in the end. So listen, for our first-time viewers out there in BNet TV land, tell us about WDS and what you're doing here at Mobile World Congress.
We're a customer experience management company. We work with a lot of the large tier 1 operators and handset manufacturers just to try and assure the customer experience, everything through from how their customers buy product, set it up, and post-sale care and maintenance of that product to really keep loyalty. And we're here just to walk the halls, see what the trends are, understand what our customers are talking about, and try and shape that voice, as it were.
Do people really care about the customer? Inevitably, they're going to purchase a phone, and inevitably, they have to be on a carrier.
There's a lot of lip service to this, right? You walk around, I've been here for an hour, and every other stand I walk past, assure the customer experience, deliver a great customer experience. What does it mean? What does it mean, guys? Get through to it. You're right. Everybody pays lip service to it. It's all about building loyalty to a brand. But at the moment, do consumers really see anything other than price? How easy is it for a customer just to move because a competitor's offering a cheaper deal?
Okay, let's get let's get personal. Are you ready for it? Okay.
Give me your best.
Apple has loyal customers.
It does.
They do, no question about it. You get an Apple user. They're usually an Apple user for a pretty long time. Everybody else is fighting for a similar type experience. Who's got the best type of experience? What are they doing right? And what should everybody else be following? Because clearly Apple does a great job.
Apple does a great job, and Apple is the one company that everybody will cite as a reference. Now, my benchmark of loyalty is what's the resistance of a customer to if something goes wrong or if there is a cheaper offer. If an Apple product has an inherent bug in it or a weakness, the general feeling is the people that love that product, they'll look past that.
Okay.
But if somebody doesn't love the product, they'll quickly move on.
My dad used to, still to this day, tells me this one phrase that resonates consistently with me. Whatever you got, you can always get better.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
That being said, whatever device you're using, there's always going to be a better device out there. How do you keep that loyalty consistent across the board?
The devices, I think, is a really difficult one to do now.
Okay.
Right? You go over into Hall 8, you see all those handset brands, you walk onto their stands, everything looks the same. Everything is a 4.5 inch slate with a big black touchscreen on the front. And if it wasn't for the logo, how would I know what brand that was? Especially now, a lot of them are all running Android. Right. They may have their slight overlay on it, but where's the differentiation? How can I be loyal to a handset brand when I get pretty much the same experience from a competitive OEM brand? That's the hard thing that the OEMs have got to really tackle now. Okay,
so we've clearly defined the idea that the problem exists out there in the ecosystem. What's WDS doing about it?
We're working with our customers to look at how they actually own and interact with those products and services. It's not, the customer experience isn't just about that piece of plastic in your hand, that piece of metal or the network to which you're attached. It's everything else that goes with it. What happens when I walk into a retail store? How am I introduced to those products? Am I shown how to use them? If I'm a first-time smartphone owner, am I going to be intimidated by those products? Everybody at the moment, we've made a conscious decision to own a smartphone. The next billion users may not. It's just that's the product their carrier is going to give them.
So what is WDS doing here at Mobile World Congress, and what do you hope to gain out of this experience?
Again, back to this customer experience, I want to understand what all these guys mean. There's huge misunderstanding. Everybody pays lip service to it, and I want to actually get to the core of when you talk about customer experience, what do you mean? What is the value to your brand? Is it just about extending loyalty? Is it making it easier for customers to interact with you? What are you actually doing about this? Now, when I walk past a stand and see a customer, a vendor selling a new power management solution for a device and says, this is going to improve the customer experience. Really? Why? How? As a consumer, do I care about that? I shouldn't need to care. It should just work, right?
So you bring up a number of good points. I'm a consumer and I am a reporter in the digital ecosystem here. I attend 90 plus conferences a year where all I hear is how things are going to be so great, how broadband is going to make things faster, how the device is going to get smarter, and you know what? At the end of the day, the consumer is going to be a happier camper. Well, you know what? When something goes wrong, if I got to call my carrier or if I got an issue, I'm not a happy camper. I still have this issue. I can't get through it. I can't talk to anybody. I'm on the phone. Yes, no, fluffy, orange, blue. Just let me. Right?
We run a lot of call centers for operators and manufacturers and retailers, interestingly, around the world. And we see that. We are the guys, in a lot of cases, that are answering the phones on behalf of that carrier saying, how can we help? Real technical support. And the problem is, the minute somebody's had to phone up, something's gone wrong already.
Right.
It's costly for the operator. Literally, the margins that those operators are working to, if they phone up a technical support desk, the profitability of that subscriber is gone for a month.
Right.
Literally wiped out.
Right.
So whatever they can do to mitigate and stop a call coming in is hugely important. And a lot of them say, well, that's fine, just divert it to web, where it's cheaper to manage it online. Yeah, but something's still gone wrong.
Right.
There's still been a failure in the customer experience. So it's just looking at ways, a lot of our work is actually understanding what's gone wrong in the first place, and can we mitigate that from happening.
So let's bring it back again to, there is a lot of different facets to where that customer experience needs to tighten up, because you've named a number of different areas. Let's bring it back again to WDS. You're here, you're at the conference. If I am if I'm within this ecosystem and I want to engage your services, how do I do that? And
I'd look at, think outside of your ownership of the customer and what else you can do. A great example is our work with Radio Shack in the US. Radio Shack, 4,500 stores, a huge mobile retailer. That's twice as many stores selling mobile products as Verizon and AT&T have, right? Now, traditionally, a retailer has just said, give me your money, there's a phone.
Thanks, see ya.
See you later. Now, in 2 years' time, you may come back to me for a phone, or you may not, but that's it. If you have a problem, that's the operator's issue. Now, Radio Shack very cleverly has said, no, we want to own that customer after that post-sale interaction. Sure, they can phone AT&T, Verizon, but why not phone Radio Shack? We're going to own that experience for you. We're going to look after your device for the duration of your experience, your contract with whatever operator it may be. We're going to give you applications that you can install on your Android device to help you set up and support yourself. We're going to have a technical support desk, US-based support agents who are going to resolve your issues if you have a problem. That's really game-changing, because that was usually the carrier's territory to control that. And Radio Shack have said, normally our part in the customer experience ends here. We want it to end here. So that
increases their profitability at the end of the day, and I guess that's really the name of the game.
There's a big investment for Radio Shack to do this, but their view is the long game, that we're building loyalty, that when they need to do that upgrade or they want to churn to a network, they'll still come back to Radio Shack and not a Best Buy. And especially in the world of the connected home, this is great, right? Because Radio Shack's got something that the operators don't do. If I want a connected TV, I'm not going to go to an AT&T store, I'll go to Radio Shack.
I always love talking about case studies, and that's so it's really important, and thank you very much for offering us that. Finally, Tim, what are we going to see from WDS here in the future?
Here in the future, I think you're going to see the message that we're trying to put across to our customers, which is to view that customer experience as a process. What happens, decisions that are made at one end of that value chain have a huge bearing at the other end. Operators work in real silos, right? They're old engineering companies, and people will make decisions about which handsets to put on the network, how to test them, how to retail them, and those decisions can often have a huge impact on the lifetime cost of a customer later on, because that product was inherently wrong, it was badly tested, it was badly retailed. But the guys that made that decision don't really care. They don't see that cost. They've got their KPIs and their bonuses. So I think what we're going to start seeing, and we are seeing it now, is operators and manufacturers starting to see that end-to-end process. And you see more and more, these guys are appointing chief, C-level guys with a title of customer experience owner across the whole business. So all of a sudden, we're starting to work with companies that have that bird's eye view. And we're really trying to work with companies to connect all of those individual touch points that exist, because at the moment that doesn't really happen.
Fantastic, Tim. Thank you very much for taking the opportunity to speak with us here today at Mobile World Congress. It's we could probably go on and on for hours talking about the customer user experience, because there's just so many different facets of it. But clearly, it looks like WDS has got their fingers in the right places at the right moments.
I hope so.
Fantastic. I've been speaking with Tim Deluca-Smith from WDS. I'm Tony Sklar here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona with BNet TV.